Justin's back again. Okay, well, hey YouTube, welcome back. I know I was trying to almost sing the opening of an Eminem song, but yeah, maybe as you could tell by the title, this round of stories, well, are social media influencer stories. So, these are 100% fake, these are made up, and don't depict any real events or anything in between. So, yeah, viewer discretion viewer discretion is advised and well, yeah, so it first started out with this guy named Brian, and he was, well, wanting to become an influencer on Instagram, and, well, and then he has been during the course of like the summertime and like taking pictures and all that, and even 1 year later, well, would notice like all the different analytics and numbers and followers changing, which then 1 year later, after it being 2 months later, he would start to notice, well, start to, well, sort of, well, push hit like other things aside and just focus on social media, and then would get too caught up in the fame and popularity and everything in between, just like that. And because a lot of maybe his friends or like people that he knows didn't know the person who he was anymore. And because later on, he realized that, oh, I guess social media isn't what it's cracked up to be. And so I guess the moral of the story is maybe try not to get too caught up in social media and the popularity or something like that. But really, this is just a story. And so our next story would be something where, well, it would involve, well, one person named Chris, and also where where he's been a social media influencer for, well, 3 years, and where he did get like a, a DM on Instagram, and noticing it would be of something beyond those lines of, oh, your work seems very good, and we would like to see more stuff and things if you would want to look for a sponsor and all that. And this is just my own narration of a story, and it ain't real, but yeah. So he the business gives Christopher address for it, and realizes that he would be making some big money, and things start to go on the up and up, and things start changing, and which then he would sign a contract and all that. And but 3 years later, he realizes it starts to get very, well, because when it comes to popularity and fame, sometimes the privacy would tend to go away, because either a lot of people would recognize you in public, and he would start to have a fan base, and even his very own fan page. And then 6 months later, he says to himself that he kind of wishes he had his own life back. Well, that he had his own life back, and that he regrets throwing his old life away for fame and fortune. And then wants to get out of his contract, and then, which he did. And so, yeah, this next story, which, yeah, this is the third story. And so this story does involve, well, two people, well, two group of friends trying to, well, either see what's trending on TikTok, and maybe to do some urban exploration, and either like do a paranormal investigation, and then see what they find. But as it almost they almost finish the video, and then the day after they start to rewatch the footage, they notice like a lot of like different like anomalies and things, like different things happening, and they were very unaware of what was happening, as if the camera didn't capture what was on it. But then for 2 nights, every night for the next week, they would continue doing their investigation into that certain place they would go to investigate for like the paranormal and all that. And but then they realize, they start to see, well, like gray sedans follow them in like places that they would usually go. And so, yeah, I guess the moral of this story is to be careful what you're getting into, because you never know. It could lead to something crazy. And yeah, that concludes this story. And so, bye bye. Paranormal investigation stories might be next. So, stay tuned. Or any stories like that. But if you guys want to hear any stories or any suggestions for any stories you may have, feel free to leave them down below over on my YouTube channel, or in any videos, or in any of my recent videos or past videos, because, yeah, suggestions of different stories you guys want to hear would be great. And bye bye.